Hello everyone, and it is the 24th of February and let's dig straight into Rumble Roundup. I'm Pat Carey from the Republic of Players, and without further ado, let's go. So, the first news story we're going to talk about today is on Mortal Kombat 11 and on the toy based around the Mortal Kombat version of Spawn for Mortal Kombat 11. The toy looks fantastic, it's so cool to look at, and it also gives us the design that Spawn is going to have for MK11. The toy is supposed to be coming out around March sometime, and I believe that this is also showing that we're going to get a release date for Spawn for the actual Mortal Kombat 11 game pretty soon. I feel like these two things would come out roughly within the same time frame to capitalize on the hype of it. So yeah, apart from that, like the actual action figure itself looks really good. Like, I'm a big fan of stuff like that, and if you are, this is a good thing to jump onto. Apart from that, Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, has said he'd love to have a Mortal Kombat character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I don't know, I don't think a Mortal Kombat character would fit into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, though I could be wrong. But it just feels like the violence that Mortal Kombat is known for would not translate at all over to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I can see why he'd want it. Like, Super Smash Bros. Is a brilliant game, a fantastic game, a big game, and everyone is throwing their characters in there when they can, and it's become like this festival of just celebrating video game characters with how many characters are coming in all together. But yeah, that's all on Mortal Kombat. Now, on to news story number 2. Samurai Shodown Season Pass 2 is starting off on February 26th. So literally a few days from now. But yes, the characters that we're getting are Mina, Iora, and Sogetsu. Sorry if I pronounced any of those wrong. But Mina is coming on the 26th. She is the first character. Her main weapon seems to be a bow, and is going to be a character that uses long range more than anything else from what I've seen, but has close range moves that seem to do quite a bit of damage as well. Yeah, so it seems like she'll be more focused on long range but have the option for short range. It's great to see a game like this doing well, and that it got a second season as well. It shows how popular the Samurai Shodown game is at the moment, and it's a very fun game to watch as well, and I still have to get around to it, which is like, it's always been on my top of one of my list of games to get, but usually something else comes out and I just haven't got around to it, unfortunately. But it is a game I really want to play, and I say with Season 2 coming now, it's a great time to jump onto the game. There is still one character that has not been announced. It's kind of cute, like, I'm not sure who it's going to be. I'd love to see a guest character like Mishirugi come in from Soul Calibur, with them doing the crossover on Soul Calibur for Season 2 of Soul Calibur itself. That was a lot of Soul Calibur said. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see coming in, because Mishirugi is freaking awesome, and it would be nice to tie the two together, especially with them already crossing over on Soul Calibur. On to news story number 3, which is Street Fighter V got a netcode fix. There was a Reddit user who went by the name of Altimo, who had a fix made and set and put it out there for people to use to try and fix up their netcode a bit more. Since they shut down the server to work on the netcode, Capcom has got rid of that fix that Altimore has done and have put in their new one. Now, a lot of people have said that it's working, like it's the best it's been in a while, and that there is an improvement there, which is good. It's always good to see an improvement for netcode, because everyone wants to play the game at its optimal proficiency. But there's still a few people saying that it's maybe even worse, but more positive than bad. and if that's more positive, then I'm assuming that they have fixed out or fixed up a few things with it, and that's good to see. On to news story number 4. Granblue Fantasy versus Big Bad Boss in the RPG mode, Chaosbringer or Beelzebub in Japan. They're doing the same thing with him that they did with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta in Dragon Ball FighterZ, as in you can unlock the character in the game, or if you want you can go out and buy it as DLC. Like, I don't mind this, that having the option to actually unlock a character like that is, I love that sort of stuff. It makes you want to play the game and actually explore it a lot more. Like, and but the fact that it is there, you can just go out and buy it, like, I could see it more as let's say you buy the game a few years down the line and that you just want to have all the characters from the get-go to play with a few friends. This is the way that you'd probably go, rather than spending your time playing through the game for a period of time to get that character. But on the RPG mode sides of Granblue Fantasy Versus, if you haven't seen that, go give it a look. It looks freaking awesome. That game is set for release in America on March the 3rd. There is still no European release date yet, which is really freaking annoying. But hopefully we will get something soon, because I say it won't be too far away from the March 3rd release date. Hopefully. I'm praying. I really am praying that it's not that far away. Please. Dragon Ball FighterZ has a new mechanic which was brought up for Season 3, which is Limit Break, which is when you're down to your final character out of your tree, your meter goes gold and you start to deal a lot more damage than you normally would. It's more of a sort of catch-up mechanic for basically the game, like to come back instead of just getting beaten into the ground harshly. Like I can see this working really well, because I know when I was getting into the game, and it's a great game. You should get into it now when you can. With all this new stuff coming in, it's gonna mix up a lot. But yeah, it's when I was getting into it, when I was facing people who would just hammer me into the ground, that the sparking mechanic was the one thing that allowed me to inch back and regain some of my dignity. Not all of it, but some of it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great way for when people jump in now again, that this would be a nice way of fighting people who are used to the game or really good at the game, and it will sort of even things out slightly and make people feel like they're making good progress, which always a good thing. But like, Season 3 is coming this week, which is the 26th. It's dropping as well, same as Samurai Showdown. So Calf is going to be coming that day, and there's going to be all these new mechanics which we covered last week, such as the new assists and so on and so forth. But apart from that, Captain Ginyu is also getting another level 3, which is super cool. Like, it's great to see that this character's getting more moves. But this move incorporates all the Ginyu force, and they just sort of attack and let loose. So, on to news story number 6, which is the Tekken World Tour is going to have over 30 events this year, which is massive, like over 30, which is much bigger than last year's. And it's great to see that the series is still evolving and getting bigger every year that it comes, because Tekken at the moment, I feel, is the king of esports to watch. It's just so amazing, and like there just seems to be so much more depth to it compared to the other esport fighters when you are watching them. But yeah, it's great to see that it's getting all this attention and that it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's what I want to see happen with these esports for fighting games, because getting bigger means that there's going to be more tournaments and it's going to grow all over, and possibly even the game's going to get even more content, which is always a good thing. Now on to our final news story, which is on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. News story number 7. And this was, what was it called? It was Sakurai sort of giving out a few details on what was the future of Ultimate at the moment. And what he said was basically that there's no plans after Season 2 is finished, that this is going to be the last season. I have a feeling that that might not be the case, depending how well Season 2 does. I think they might go for Season 3. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I say there's a possibility of a Season 3 still there. It's just it hasn't been discussed yet. There was also a little bit where he was talking about he doesn't choose the fighters that he wants for the game. It's Nintendo brings fighters that they can get for the game and bring them to him, and then he says whether they'd fit or not. It gives us a bit of clarification on why certain characters might be in there, and that you really shouldn't be pushing all your blame on this man if a character gets in that you don't like. But yeah, it's a nice little update to get, and we still have 6 characters for that to come. None of them have been announced, so it will be interesting to see who they get for this season pass. To round off this second show of Rumble Roundup, we are going to talk about another Irish tournament happening this weekend, which is Celtic Throwdown's Intercalary Inferno. Intercalary? I can't speak English. Intercalary Inferno, which is coming February 29th at the Academy Plaza Hotel in Dublin. The tournaments will include Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mortal Kombat 11, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, Under Night Stay Blade. Yeah, I'm not going to even try and pronounce that one. Granblue Fantasy versus, which is great to see because like it's not even out in Europe yet, but still it's going to be at the competitions. It's probably the best place to play it if you aren't a fan of buying things online like myself. And then there's Soul Calibur 6, Tekken 7 and Samurai Showdown. So there's a big list of tournaments for fighting games there that you can jump into. There's a wide variety depending on which fighting game you like. And yeah, so that's February 29th. Academy Plaza Hotel, Celtic Throwdown's Intercalary Inferno. So if you're up for going a few rounds, a few people, this would be a great place to go. And yeah, that's all for Rumble Roundup this week. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take it easy.